Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my YouTube channel Learn French with Anubhav. If you have already subscribed to my channel, press the bell icon to get the latest updates. In today's class, we are going to do CBSE Class 9 Grammar Division Term 2 2021-22. Now I know that I'm a bit late in uploading this video because some of the schools have already had their Class 9 Term 2 examination. But this video is going to be helpful for those whose exams are going to happen in the near future, and also like we are going to revise grammar concepts in very brief, all the grammar concepts which are there in the syllabus. So it's good for revising the last minute revision, right? It's good for last minute revision. So in today's video, like we will be discussing each and every topic in very brief, okay, in very brief manner. And it's just that for exceptions you must need to watch my videos based on these topics, right? Like there are a few points which may not be covered in this video, so you have to watch those videos. Their links will be provided in the description box below, so I won't be writing in that particular column that okay, these videos you need to watch, because there are a lot of videos. Okay, so it's going to be a summary of all those videos. So in your grammar section for this year, class 9th term 2 examination, first thing in grammar is what? Verbs and tenses, right? So the first tense is what? Present tense. Present tense. Very simple. You can either get a C clause question. For example, C plus present is future, right? Future sample. Right, C plus present is future sample. Like in case there is the subject before the blank, then present tense, and in case there is no subject, then imperative. Right. So one sort of question for present tense you can get like this. Another sort of question which you can get is like simply conjugation of a verb. Now verbs are so many categories. ER ending verbs, IER, GER, CER. Right. Then consonant changing verbs, and then the irregular verbs, right? So for this particular conjugation, like present tense conjugation, you should be through with all those, right? So again, their links will be provided in the description box below. You can watch the videos. Okay, so these are the two kind of things. And one more thing, like there's a sentence and there's a blank, but you're unable to decide which tense will be coming. Like, will it be present or not? See. Now, when it's C clause question, it's quite simple that one part would be C, another part would be future sample, like that, right? But in case like there's a sentence and there's no indication whether it's talking about a habit or an order, or is it referring to the past or the recent past, is it referring to the near future, or is it referring to the future, right? Then of course, the option is what? Present tense, isn't it? Next tense in your syllabus is what? It is futur proche. Okay, so we have to discuss about futur proche now. Futur proche, near future. Indicators, dans 5 minutes, dans 10 minutes, dans un moment, like in a moment, in 10 minutes, in 5 minutes. Futur proche is basically what? Near future, right? So, these are the indicators of futur proche or near future tense. Now, let's talk about the formation. Now, we have the subject, then comes alle's present conjugation. Okay, alle means to go. So, alle, present tense conjugation, okay, corresponding to the subject. And then the infinitive form of the verb. Infinitive form is what? The unconjugated form. Like parler, P-A-R-L-E-R, right? Voyager, V-O-G-A-Y-E-R, like that. Manger, M-A-N-G-E-R. The infinitive form, the unconjugated form, right? That would be coming here. In case there's negative, so na here, pa here. Simple. So that was your futur proche. Next, what do we have? We have futur sample, simple future. Now futur proche is what? Near future. Futur sample is future tense, simple future, right? say in a week, or like next week, next month, next year, like that. Like in future, but not as near as futur proche. Okay, so futur simple, simple future. So now, let's talk about the formation of futur simple. It's very easy. Like we have the subject pronouns over here. Il, elle, je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle. Generally, like notice that the word which I am saying is generally, which means like not in all cases. Okay, so how we do? We have the infinitive and then we add the future sample endings ai, as, a, ons, ez, ont. Okay, now future sample has a lot of exceptions, right? So you need to go through my future sample video. The link is in the description box below. तो अभी हमने 3 टेंस रिवाइज करे, प्रेजेंट टेंस, वर्तमान काल, फ्यूचर प्रॉश, नियर फ्यूचर जो अभी होने वाला है, एंड फ्यूचर सैंपल भविष्य का ही कोई इंसिडेंट जो फ्यूचर प्रॉश जितना नियर नहीं है. ओके, से tomorrow or next week or next month or next year, like that. Okay. Also, again a reminder, please go through the future sample exceptions, because there are a lot of exceptions, right? Like, I guess there are like 15 plus exceptions, so you must go through them. So this was your future sample. Now, in your verbs, the next topic is what? Les verbes pronominaux. Again, the link is in the description box below. We are just going to discuss in brief les verbes pronominaux. Or the reflexive verbs pronominal. Right, pronominal. Now, why do we call them pronominal verbs or verb pronominal? Why? Because these verbs are preceded by a pronoun, a reflexive pronoun, pronoreflexive, right? So we have the subject pronouns over here, je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, and then, right, we have the reflexive pronouns like je, me, tu, te, il, elle, se, nous, the same, nous, vous, and then se again. Now, in case the verb begins with a vowel, then this becomes M apostrophe, T apostrophe, S apostrophe, S apostrophe. These two remain unchanged. Okay, and then we have the conjugation of your verb. Okay, so again, for those verbs, you need to go through my pronominal verb video. See, the thing is, here we are revising in a very brief manner, right? Because if I revise the whole thing like in detail, the video is going to be of like more than an hour. Okay, so you must go through that video. It's just that I'm discussing in very brief here. If you want to know how to do the negation in case of pronominal verbs, then je, ne, me, your verb, and then pa. This is how you would be doing the negation with pronominal verbs. Pronominal verbs or les verbes pronominaux. Okay, let's move to the next one. Next, what do we have in line? We have passé composé. Oh, simple past tense. Right. Passé composé used when talking about one-time event in past, which is not as recent as recent past or passé récent. Right. Like yesterday, last month, last year, last week, like that. Not very recent, but it's in the past. Passé composé. And to be noted for one-time event. If it's a continuous event in the past, then we use imparfait. Okay. Fine. Passé composé. How to do passé composé? 2 categories are there. Auxiliary verb être and auxiliary verb avoir. So first, let's quickly conjugate these 2 verbs. In this case, it would become J because it's a vowel. Avant, ave, ont. And let's quickly conjugate here as well. Être, je suis, tu es, il, elle est, nous sommes, vous êtes, il, elle sont. Right. After this, we add the past participle. Again, there are a lot of exceptions, but I am going to discuss a few general things like ER ending verbs, remove the R, add the accent over the E, last E. For example, parler, P-A-R-L-E, accent AQ, like that. IR ending verbs, remove the R. Okay. Then GER ending verbs, again remove the R and then E, this thing. Accent AQ over the E. Right. But there are several exceptions in passé composé as well. Right. Now, few verbs are with avoir, few verbs are with être. With être, you need to follow Dr. Mrs. von der Trump, which covers all the 16 verbs, or you can do the advent group verbs, right, whichever way is comfortable to you. Again, Dr. Mrs. von der Trump is discussed in my passé composé video. So, Dr. Mrs. von der Trump verbs and all the pronominal verbs are conjugated with être, and all the remaining verbs are conjugated with avoir. I repeat my statement, जो भी pronominal verbs है आपके और जो डॉक्टर मिसेस वॉन द ट्रम्प या जो एडवेंट ग्रुप के जो वर्ब्स है उनको आप एटर के साथ कॉन्जुगेट करोगे. उन वर्ब्स का ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब एटर है और जितने भी बाकी वर्ब्स बच गए उनका है avoir. Now talking about the past participle, you have added the past participle here. Okay, but with être there's another case, like if we need to add the agreement, d'accord, right? We need to have the agreement over here. Like if the subject is feminine, then we add an E. If the subject is plural, then we add an S. If the subject is feminine plural, then we add ES. Right. This agreement is followed in passé composé with avoir when auxiliary verb is avoir in only one case. Like with avoir, there is no agreement followed. Okay. But there is one case when we follow, when there is a direct object pronoun preceding the auxiliary verb. Okay, direct object pronoun la la le, right, in pronoun participle. So these are the cases when we are doing agreement, right? Next one we have imperative. Very easy. Imperative. Used to give orders, right? No subject is there. Conjugated with only 3 subjects: tu, nous, and vous. Again, I'm saying the word generally. Whenever I say generally, it means not in all cases. There are some exceptions, right? And for exceptions, you need to watch that particular video. So, imperative, in the statement, there's an exclamation mark at the end, right? And now, how to conjugate? Like, you take the present tense conjugation. For nous and who is generally the same. And for tu, it's just that you take the conjugation and remove the last S. Okay, but there are again a few exceptions, right? And for the exceptions, you must watch my imperative video. तो imperative हमने डिस्कस कर लिया. इसके बाद हमें क्या डिस्कस करना है? एम्पाल्फे. एम्पाल्फे को पास्ट कंटिन्यूअस भी कह सकते हैं और imperfect tense भी कह सकते हैं. Like, why past continuous? Though, like, it's not technically actually a verb, past continuous, but we can say the past continuous tense because imperfect is used for prolonged action in past. Okay, for the continuous action in past. Okay, so when there is a passé composé versus imperfect thing, right? You need to judge that whether it's a one-time event or it's a prolonged action in the past. If it's a prolonged action in the past, it's imperfect. If it's one time, passé composé. Passé composé indicator in such question, un jour, a day, I went there, like that. And for the example of imperfect, when I was small, I used to do, like, it's a habit, like I used to cycle every day. I used to do cycling every day. Right. For that, you are going to use imperfect. Okay. So, passé composé versus imperfect. One more thing which my teacher used to tell me that whenever passé composé versus imperfect happens and the verb given is être or avoir, it's better to conjugate être and avoir with imperfect only. tip given by my teacher when I was in school. Okay. Imparfait, how do we form? We take the present tense. Okay, let me write the heading at least. The subheading, I mean, imparfait. We take present tense no conjugation. Okay, we drop the ONS and then we add the endings, imparfait endings. Right. Let's ignore this portion. Okay, let's ignore the adjoint avoir thing here. So with je, the radical part after removing ONS, AIS. With you, AIS. With LL, AIT. With nu, IONS. With woo, IEZ. And then lastly, LLL, AIENT. Very easy. Right? Imparfait. Done. Now, this completes your first section of grammar. Like first section on the grammar. Let's move to the next one. Next one is, I guess, negation, right? Again, in imparfait, there are exceptions. So for those also, to see, like see, in most of the grammar concepts, there are a few exceptions, right? So you need to take care of those exceptions as well. So prepare accordingly. Next we have etc. Again, we are going to discuss in very brief manner. Negation. Starting with basic negation. Okay, now we are discussing number 2, negation. You have the subject, you have the verb, you have the rest of the sentence. Right. How to do basic negation? Add ne before the verb, add pa after the verb. Easy, right? Ne becomes an apostrophe if the verb begins with a vowel. Again, easy. Let's talk about the next point then. If past participle is there, then what to do? Then past participle will come here. Right. Then pa. Oh, sorry. Oh. What am I writing? Auxiliary verb here. Come on. Auxiliary verb here and then past participle after pa. Right. And in case there's a pronoun as well, then before ne, pronouns. The pronoms personnel, personal pronouns. Right. They will be coming before, like after ne and before the auxiliary verb. Let me repeat myself because I fumbled a bit in between. I messed it up a bit. Subject, then ne, then pronoun, then auxiliary verb, then pa, then past participle. Pronouns, in which order? That we are going to discuss very soon in this video only, so don't worry. So this is the elaborate kind of negation question which you can get. Now, negative expressions. Right, basic negation to ho gaya. Ab negative expressions discuss karna hoga, isn't it? So negative expressions have their own indicators like quelque chose, something, quelqu'un, someone, quelque part, somewhere, right? So, for example, quelque chose. Ne, verb, rien. Or past or auxiliary verb, rien, past participle, depending upon the question, right? Now, if you are writing rien, no need to write pa, right? Then quelque part, somewhere, negative is what? No. Then verb or auxiliary verb, depending on the question. Then nulle part, nowhere. Then quelqu'un, someone, negative, ne, dash, personne. Right? Then toujours, or quelquefois, quelque temps, sometimes, or always. Right? Negative is what? Ne, jamais. Then, if you want to say neither nor, then what? Neither nor, ne, verb, ni, dash, ni, dash. Now, if the object here is having a lalale before that object, the article, right? Then that remains here, like la will remain la only, la will remain la only, but in case there's a partitive article, then that goes away. Right, directly ni the object, ni the object. Simple. That was your neither nor. There are a few more things in negative expressions. Again, the link is provided in the description box below, so need not to worry about. Again, one small point, important, okay, in subjective paper. Yunde and the partitive articles change to de or the apostrophe, okay, depending upon whether the word after the article begins with a vowel or not, and irrespective of whether singular or plural, okay, it will be either the or the apostrophe. This change will not take place if there is at the in the sentence, okay, this change won't take place. And for la, la, le, l apostrophe, no change in negation. Okay, so this was your negation. In case you want to know in depth, you want to see more examples, links are there in the description box. In this video, we are just discussing in very brief manner everything in term 2 paper type. Negation discussion over. Now, what? Pronoms personnels. Okay. Nice. Pronoms personnels. Number 3. Personal pronouns. Pronoms personnels. Le pronoms personnels. Okay. Fine. First, let's write the subject pronouns. Uh-oh. Yes. Now let's talk about the order in which everything appears, and then we are going to discuss what is used for what. Okay. So, it's going to be fun. First thing, no. In case there's a negative statement, then of course no will be coming just after the verb. Just after the subject. Then we have the reflexive pronoun for je, me. We just discussed reflexive pronouns under pronominal verbs, so it's fine. We are discussing again. Then we have the direct object pronoun. Le / la, like masculine, feminine, l apostrophe in case of vowel, and les in case of plural. Okay. Direct object pronoun, COD, complément d'objet direct, right? Want to know in detail? Description box. The link is there. Okay. Then we have the indirect object pronoun. Indirect object pronoun, we have lui for singular, la for plural. Okay. Then there is the position of e, the pronoun e. E is used for place or inanimate object preceded by the preposition a. And similarly, on is used for place when it's preceded by the preposition the. It's used for quantity. It's used for inanimate object when preceded by preposition the. Okay, so this is the order which needs to be followed. After on comes the auxiliary verb, if any. Auxiliary verb. Then comes pa. Then comes past participle. Then comes the agreement if needs to be needed to be followed, and then the rest of the statement. So this is the elaborate thing in pronoun personnel, right? Now, another point which I want to discuss. 2 verbs are there. Verb 1 conjugated, verb 2 not conjugated. When we are generally writing in present, and we are writing 2 verbs simultaneously, first verb we conjugate, second verb we don't. For example, I like playing, j'aime jouer. Right. So, pronoun in that case will be coming before the main verb. For example, j'aime jouer, So before jouer, not before am. Okay, in this case, if we see, we look for the main verb and not for the helping verb. Okay, so this point needs to be taken care of. Important. This we discussed quite quick, so it's nice. As I said, we can't really discuss everything in detail. It's just that we need to do it in very brief manner. अभी हमने पर्सनल प्रोनाउंस करे, अब हम अनदर कैटेगरी ऑफ प्रोनाउंस करेंगे जो है रिलेटिव प्रोनाउंस, सिंपल रिलेटिव प्रोनाउंस. ओके, प्रोनाउन रिलेटिव सैंपल. Assuming that from your Conjugation class 9 textbook that there are only k, ki and u in syllabus. Okay, pronouns का क्या काम होता है? To replace a noun, to avoid repetition, right? The work of pronouns is what? To avoid the repetition. Like if you are repeating the same noun in the same sentence twice, it seems a bit odd, right? That's why we replace the second appearance with a pronoun. Relative sample as per class 9 syllabus. Term 2 we have 3. We have k, we have ki, and we have u. Oh, I was writing q over here. U. Okay, talking about the uses. Now this k becomes qu apostrophe when the next word begins with a vowel. So yeah, k is used for, like, it could mean that, it could mean which. Ki could mean that, it could mean which, it could mean who. U can mean when, where. So the meaning will vary depending on the way you are using these pronouns, right? Now, when to use, these two are k and ki are used for persons or things. Okay. Then how to judge which one to be used? Right. After k, there comes the subject. Okay, and then the verb. And after ki, directly the verb. Okay, no subject after ki. Now, how to decide which one to use? Again, like in case you are confused, translate. Translate the statement. Like, for example, that, he. Right. Kill. Q apostrophe IL. Kill. Or tell. Q apostrophe ELLE. Right. That she. Key. I like the cake which was made by her. Or made by him. Right. In that case, like, which was made. See? After which, directly the verb. So sometimes translation also helps. And then talking about u, when to use u? U is used generally for place. Again, I use the word generally. But it could be used for time as well. When we are using it for time, then the meaning becomes when, right? And again, all these examples of these pronouns are taken in my pronoun relative sample video. In that video, there is also one more dom which I have discussed, which is staying class 10 syllabus, which is staying Conjugation class 10. I don't know whether it's in term 2 paper or not. I guess I'm not sure. So dom is still in Conjugation class 10 as much as I remember. So let's not talk about it. Dom means of which, of what, of whom, depending on the way you are using it. Okay, so though we discussed just a sentence. Okay, fine. Now, what to do? Revision video is done. Term 2 revision video is done. I guess this video is going to be very long, like more than 30 minutes, but this video, I hope it will be helpful for you. And any topic which you want to know in detail, in case you have any doubt, of course you can ask me, and you can watch my those videos as well. So let's put a halt here. Say to push it. That's all for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel Learn French with Anubhav. And if you have any doubt or suggestion, you may write that in the comment section below. You may also like my Facebook page by the same name, Learn French with Anubhav. See you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Au revoir. N'oubliez pas, parlons français, l'amour.